When a woman you've gone silent with suddenly reappears in your inbox, it creates a mental tug of war. Do you reply and risk giving up the leverage you've built, or do you hold your ground and stay silent? This is the exact point where most men slip up because they don't understand the psychology at play. Responding too quickly signals neediness. Ignoring her without purpose just makes you look careless. The real strength lies in seeing through her motive and protecting your value. The truth is, when a woman reaches out after silence, it's rarely about missing you. It's usually a test. She wants to check where you stand emotionally. Are you still waiting for her? Or have you moved on, grown, and raised your standards? Your reaction answers those questions for her. This isn't simply about one text message. It's about what kind of man you show yourself to be. Do you stay calm and in control, or do you crumble the second she shows interest again? Your response, or lack of it, reveals your confidence, your boundaries, and your self-respect. In today's dating game, the men who win are the ones who know their worth and refuse to chase crumbs of attention. In this video, I'll show you exactly how to handle her sudden message with strategy, how to read her true intent, and how to turn the moment into an advantage that strengthens your position. Before we start the video, I want to remind you that my effective online course on mastering the dating game is available now. If you've been learning from my YouTube videos, you're only scratching the surface. This course takes things to an entirely new level, teaching you everything you need to know about the dating game, from approaching a woman to building real attraction. And you won't find this information in any video on my channel. It's available in both English and Spanish language, so you can learn in the language you feel most comfortable with. It's easy to access with a secure payment option. Visit thestoiccouple.podia.com or click the link in the description to enroll now and improve your dating life. Let's dive in. Sign number 1. Analyze why she's reaching out. When she reaches out, your first step is to assess the situation. Women rarely act without intent, especially in the context of relationships. Her reaching out isn't random, it's calculated. It could be driven by curiosity, insecurity, loneliness, or even a desire to reassert control. Your ability to decipher her motives will determine your next move. Ask yourself, what's her timing like? Did she reach out after weeks of silence, or was it right after seeing you on social media? Timing reveals intent. If it's been a while, she might be testing the waters to see if you're still interested. If it follows a post where you're looking confident, successful, or surrounded by others, she might be feeling a pang of jealousy or fear of losing you. Her timing gives you clues, so pay attention. Next, consider her tone. Is she casual, acting as though nothing happened? Is she apologetic, trying to repair damage? Or is she playful, dropping bait to see if you'll bite? Her tone tells you what she expects from you. A casual tone could signal she's trying to control and maintain. Apologies indicate she's acknowledging her mistake. Playfulness suggests she's testing if you'll still give her attention. You also need to think about the history of your interaction. Did you ignore her because she disrespected you, or because you were setting boundaries? A woman who reaches out after disrespecting you is likely testing how far she can push. If she reaches out after you set boundaries, she might be acknowledging your strength. Either way, your response, or lack of it, will set the tone for the next phase. Don't let emotions cloud your judgment here. Women are experts at using emotions to disarm men. That's not a criticism, it's just the reality of how the dynamics work. When she reaches out, she's seeing if she still has a grip on you. If you respond too quickly, too emotionally, or too eagerly, you confirm that she does. But if you take your time to assess the situation, you communicate that her reach out doesn't shake your frame. Finally, remind yourself of your own value. You're not at her beck and call. Just because she's decided to reach out doesn't mean you owe her a response. Take the time to decide if her motives align with what you want. Is she genuinely interested, or is this a ploy to feed her ego? Your ability to stay composed and logical here ensures that your actions aren't dictated by her whims. Analyzing why she's reaching out puts you in the driver's seat. This is where most men fail. They respond impulsively, handing her the power on a silver platter. But by taking a step back, assessing her motives, and deciding how it fits into your frame, you establish control. Once you've analyzed the situation, you'll be ready to act with precision and confidence. Sign number 2. Don't rush to respond. Once you've analyzed why she's reaching out, the next step is to pause. Resist the urge to respond immediately, no matter how tempting it feels. A quick reply signals desperation or emotional dependence, and both diminish your value in her eyes. Women are drawn to men who exude confidence and self-control, and nothing demonstrates those qualities better than restraint. When she reaches out, her message is an invitation, not a command. Treat it as such. Too many men mistakenly feel obliged to respond right away, thinking it's the polite or nice guy thing to do. But modern dating rewards men who understand that timing is power. By delaying your response, you subtly communicate that your world doesn't revolve around her. You show her that you're not sitting by the phone, eagerly waiting for her validation. Delaying your response also shifts the dynamic. When you don't rush to reply, you create a sense of uncertainty in her mind. She starts wondering if you're busy, uninterested, or simply unbothered by her presence. This uncertainty works in your favor. It reintroduces the mystery and intrigue that initially attracted her to you. Women are naturally drawn to men who keep them guessing, and a delayed response does exactly that. Now, don't mistake a pause for outright ghosting. Ghosting comes across as immature and passive-aggressive, which are not the traits of a high-value man. The goal is to respond strategically on your terms when it serves you. A good rule of this is to wait several hours, or even a day, before replying, depending on the situation. Use this time to focus on yourself, whether that means working, hitting the gym, or enjoying your hobbies. Your time is valuable, and she needs to see that. Delaying your response also gives you a chance to craft a reply that reinforces your frame. An impulsive reply is likely to be emotional or reactive, while a calculated one allows you to remain calm, composed, and in control. This moment is an opportunity to subtly set the tone for future interactions. Your message should reflect your confidence and independence. Keep it short, avoid unnecessary emotion, and don't fall into the trap of over-explaining yourself. For example, if she texts something like, "Hey, I've been thinking about you," don't respond with, "I've been thinking about you too." Instead, a confident and neutral reply like, "Interesting. What's on your mind?" shifts the conversation back to her, keeping you in control. It also signals that you're not overly invested, which only heightens her interest. Finally, remember that your time is your leverage. By not rushing to respond, you teach her to respect your time and effort. You demonstrate that you're a man with priorities and that she has to earn her place in your life. This is how you command respect and maintain the upper hand in the interaction. Sign number 3. Respond on your terms. Once you've taken your time to analyze and delayed your response, the next step is crafting a reply that reflects your frame. Responding on your terms means approaching the conversation with intention, not emotion. It's about asserting your value while subtly communicating that you're not here to jump through hoops for her. First, avoid generic or overly eager replies. She needs to sense that you're engaged with your own life and not hanging on her every word. For example, if she sends a casual "hey," replying with something equally casual but indifferent like "what's up" or "all good," works better than unloading your emotions. The goal is to keep the conversation neutral while maintaining an air of confidence. Your tone matters. Keep it calm, collected, and slightly detached. This isn't the time to be overly flirtatious, emotional, or apologetic. A man who operates on his terms doesn't fall into the trap of seeking approval through his words. Avoid long-winded explanations or overcompensating for the silence or giving her any sense that you're just grateful she reached out. Every word you send should reinforce your frame as someone who respects himself and won't bend to her whims. When responding, subtly redirect the interaction. Acknowledge her message without putting her on a pedestal. For instance, if she says, "I've been missing you," you can reply with something like, "That's unexpected. What brought that on?" This response acknowledges her statement, but keeps the focus on her, making her do the heavy lifting to explain herself. By keeping the attention on her, you maintain the upper hand in the dynamic. Be mindful of boundaries. Responding on your terms also means being clear about what you're willing to entertain and what you're not. If a message hints at manipulation or mixed signals, don't be afraid to call it out subtly. For example, if she says, "I feel like you've been ignoring me," you can respond with, "I've been focused on things that matter to me. What's on your mind?" This reply reinforces that you're a man with priorities, while subtly pushing her to justify her presence. Another critical aspect is maintaining control of the conversation's pace. Don't let her dominate the flow or demand instant replies. You set the rhythm. If she sends multiple follow-ups before you've replied, stay calm. Her impatience only reinforces the value of your time. Conversely, don't overinvest. Keep it balanced, engaged enough to show confidence, but not so much that you seem dependent on her attention. Responding on your terms also includes knowing when to disengage. If the conversation feels forced, unproductive, or like she's testing your boundaries, end it gracefully. A simple, "I'll catch up with you later," conveys that you're not afraid to walk away. This reinforces your position as a man who values his time and energy over fleeting attention. By responding intentionally and maintaining control, you ensure the interaction serves your frame, not hers. This sets the stage for a dynamic where you lead and she follows. Sign number 4. Avoid falling for emotional hooks. When a woman reaches out after a period of silence, she often uses emotional hooks to test your reaction. These hooks could be subtle hints, outright guilt trips, or provocative statements meant to draw you in. If you're not careful, you'll fall into her frame, where she dictates the emotional tone and you're left reacting. A man in control doesn't let his emotions dictate his behavior. He stays composed and evaluates the situation logically. Emotional hooks can take many forms. She might appeal to your nostalgia, saying something like, "Remember when we used to talk all night?" Or she might provoke guilt by suggesting, "I feel like you've been avoiding me." In some cases, she might even make herself appear vulnerable, saying, "I've been going through a lot lately, and I didn't know who else to talk to." These statements are designed to pull at your emotions, make you drop your guard, and give her the reaction she's looking for. The first rule here is simple. Don't take the bait. When she tries to use emotional hooks, recognize them for what they are, attempts to shift the power dynamic. If you respond emotionally, you lose control of the interaction. Instead, acknowledge her statement in a neutral way and redirect the focus. For example, if she says, "I've been going through a lot," you can respond with, "I hope you're managing. What's your plan to handle it?" This approach shows concern without overinvesting. If she tries highlighting how busy she's been, hoping to elicit a reaction, if she says something like, "I've been hanging out with a new friend," don't let it faze you. Respond calmly, perhaps with a simple, "Sounds like you've been keeping busy." This response shows that you're unfazed, confident, and not willing to compete for her attention. Another common emotional hook is flattery. She might say, "I've really missed talking to you," or No one gets me the way you do. While it's tempting to soak in the praise, don't let it cloud your judgment. Flattery can be a tactic to lower your guard and get you to respond emotionally. A confident man appreciates the compliment, but doesn't let it dictate his actions. A simple, "Glad to hear that," keeps things grounded without overindulging. Finally, always stay aware of your boundaries. If she tries to guilt trip you or manipulate the conversation, don't hesitate to reassert your position. For example, if she says, "You don't care about me anymore," a strong response would be, "I care about myself enough to avoid unnecessary drama." This makes it clear that you're not here to play games or entertain manipulation. Avoiding emotional hooks is about staying grounded. When you control your emotions, you control the interaction. This positions you as the leader, the one she respects and looks up to. Sign number 5. Test her intentions before fully re-engaging. When a woman reaches out, you should never assume her intentions are genuine until you've tested them. People, especially in the context of relationships, often act out of self-interest. Her message might seem like she wants to reconnect, but it could also be a way to stroke her ego, alleviate boredom, or gauge if she still has control over you. Instead of diving back into the interaction head first, make her intentions clear through subtle but effective tests. The first test is to gauge her effort. A woman who truly values reconnecting with you will put in some work. If her initial message is vague, like, "Hey, don't overextend yourself by trying to create a conversation out of thin air," respond briefly with something neutral like, "Hey, what's up?" See if she invests further or drops the ball. If she's genuinely interested, she'll follow up with something meaningful to keep the conversation going. If she doesn't, it shows her message wasn't motivated by genuine interest, but rather a fleeting whim. Another way to test her intentions is to ask light but probing questions. For instance, you can say, "What made you think of me?" Or, "What are you hoping to catch up on?" These aren't overly aggressive questions, but they force her to reveal more about why she's reaching out. Pay attention to her response. If she dodges the question or gives a superficial answer, it's a red flag. A genuine response might include an apology, an acknowledgement of her behavior, or a clear desire to rebuild the connection. Watch her consistency. Some women will reach out, spark your interest, and then retreat again once they've gotten the attention they craved. Don't fall for this pattern. If she's inconsistent, messaging you one day, and then disappearing for days without explanation, it's a sign she's toying with you. A woman with good intentions will show consistent effort to stay in touch and rebuild trust, not sporadic bursts of attention. You should also test her by setting small boundaries. For example, if she suggests meeting up, don't immediately agree. Respond with, "I'm busy this week, but maybe we can figure something out later." This not only shows that your time is valuable, but also gives her the opportunity to prove her sincerity. If she's genuinely interested, she'll work around your schedule or follow up later to make plans. If she gets defensive or impatient, it could indicate that she's not serious and only wants things on her terms. Lastly, observe how she reacts to a lack of immediate gratification. A woman who's genuinely interested will respect your pace and the boundaries you set. If she starts to pressure you, guilt you, or manipulate you to respond faster or give her what she wants, it's a major red flag. This behavior shows she's more focused on control than on building a meaningful connection. Testing her intentions isn't about playing games, it's about protecting your value. By making her prove her sincerity, you ensure that any re-engagement is on your terms and serves your best interests. Sign number 6. Don't abandon your frame when she reaches out. One of the biggest mistakes you can make is abandoning your frame. Your frame is the set of standards, values, and expectations you live by. It's the foundation of your confidence and your identity as a man. The moment you compromise your frame to accommodate her, you lose control of the interaction and, more importantly, her respect. Many men unconsciously give up their frame when a woman reappears. They soften their boundaries, become overly accommodating, or allow her to dictate the pace and tone of the interaction. This behavior stems from a scarcity mindset, the fear that if you don't bend to her will, she'll disappear again. But the truth is, the more you hold your ground, the more she will respect you and see you as a high-value man. Sticking to your frame begins with self-awareness. Remind yourself of who you are, what you want, and what you deserve in a relationship. If her behavior in the past disrespected your time, boundaries, or effort, don't ignore it just because she's suddenly showing interest. Address it subtly but firmly. For example, if she disappeared without explanation and now wants to pick up where things left off, you could say, "I don't entertain inconsistent behavior. What's changed?" This statement sets a boundary without being overly confrontational. Don't let her dictate the terms of the interaction. For instance, if she reaches out late at night or sends vague, non-committal messages, you're under no obligation to respond immediately or engage deeply. Stay firm in your standards. A simple, "Let's talk another time," or no response at all, shows her that your time is valuable and that she needs to meet you on your level. Maintaining your frame also means resisting the temptation to overcompensate. Some men feel the need to prove themselves once a woman reappears, showering her with compliments, attention, or validation in an attempt to win her over. This only places her back in control, as she realizes she can elicit effort from you with minimal investment on her part. Instead, let her be the one to work for your attention. Your value is self-evident. You don't need to prove it. Remember that holding your frame isn't just about what you say, but also how you carry yourself. Your tone, demeanor, and actions all convey whether or not you're in control. Speak with confidence, avoid excessive explanations, and never let her see you sweat. Even if her behavior frustrates you or raises questions, stay calm and composed. Emotional outbursts or erratic behavior signal insecurity, which undermines your frame. Finally, understand that maintaining your frame means being willing to walk away. If her intentions aren't genuine, her behavior is inconsistent, or she refuses to respect your boundaries, it's better to let her go. Walking away isn't a loss. It's a testament to your self-respect. A man who values himself will never sacrifice his frame for the fleeting attention of a woman. Sign number 7, decide whether she fits into your life. When a woman reaches out after a period of absence, the most critical step is determining whether she still or ever deserves a place in your life. Too many men waste time trying to rekindle connections with women who don't align with their values, goals, or lifestyle. This isn't about holding grudges or seeking revenge. It's about assessing whether she adds genuine value or disrupts the direction you're heading. Start by asking yourself why you're even considering re-engaging. Is it out of emotional attachment, fear of being alone, or genuine interest? Be brutally honest with yourself. If the only reason you're responding is that you miss her or you're hoping for closure, that's emotional weakness speaking, not logic. A high-value man operates from a position of abundance, not scarcity. He doesn't cling to someone simply because they've reappeared. Evaluate her past behavior. If she ghosted you, played games, or disrespected your boundaries, ask yourself if her reaching out changes anything. What has she done to prove she's grown or learned from her mistakes? If she hasn't taken accountability for her actions or made a sincere effort to repair the damage, it's a red flag. Don't fall into the trap of thinking time alone fixes things. Without real change, history is likely to repeat itself. Next, assess her current energy and effort. A woman who genuinely wants to be part of your life will show it through her actions. She'll reach out with purpose, express interest in your life, and demonstrate a willingness to meet your standards. If she's being vague, inconsistent, or non-committal, that's your signal to keep her at arm's length. Actions always speak louder than words. Consider whether she fits into your lifestyle and long-term goals. Does she share your values and ambitions? Is she supportive of your priorities, or does she demand you compromise them for her benefit? For example, if you're focused on building your career or improving yourself, will she respect that focus, or will she distract you with drama and attention-seeking behavior? A woman worth keeping in your life will complement your path, not compete with it. Pay close attention to her intentions. If she's reaching out because she's lonely, bored, or seeking validation, she's likely to disappear again once her temporary needs are met. Don't allow yourself to be a convenience or an emotional crutch. A genuine re-engagement comes from mutual respect and a desire to build something meaningful, not from fleeting emotions or self-serving motives. Ultimately, deciding whether she fits into your life comes down to self-respect. You're not here to be someone's backup plan or emotional safety net. If she's serious about reconnecting, she'll prove it by aligning her actions with your standards. If not, walk away confidently, knowing you're better off investing your time and energy into something or someone more worthwhile. Your life should move forward, not backward. If she can't align with where you're heading, there's no shame in leaving her behind. A strong man always chooses himself first. When a woman reaches out, it's essential to evaluate the situation with clarity and confidence. By maintaining control, testing her intentions, and sticking to your frame, you ensure that any re-engagement serves your needs, not hers. Don't let emotions cloud your judgment. Always prioritize your self-respect and long-term goals. Always keep this in mind. A man of value doesn't accept mixed signals or games. He invests only in relationships that fit with his vision and goals. Your time is precious, so if she's earned it, give it on your terms. If she hasn't, walk away with confidence, knowing you're better without the drama. And if you're committed to mastering the art of relationships, you're in the right place. Make sure to hit subscribe, and as always, thank you for watching. If you're ready to take your dating life to the next level, my full online course is waiting for you. It's packed with powerful strategies you won't find on YouTube, and it's available in English and Spanish. Click the link in the description and start mastering the game today. And I'll see you in the next video.